Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Art Money Success Podcast. I'm your hostess, Maria Brophy, and today I want to talk to you about not losing money when you are getting products made and you're selling them at wholesale prices to retailers. So, what does this mean? The reason I decided to talk about this today, and by the way, I'm live, so if there's anybody out there listening, you're welcome to ask questions in the comments and I will answer them. So, what we're talking about is printing your art on products and then selling them to retailers so that they can resell in their store. Now, the reason I brought this up today is because I helped an artist the other day. She sells her art to multiple brick and mortar stores. And what she does is she prints her art on beautiful items of clothing and on scarves. And she wanted help coming up with pricing because she got a new buyer. And this particular store wants to order 100 scarves. Now, as we dug into the details, I realized that a lot of artists are in the business of making art, not in the business of being a manufacturer. And so one of the things I want to talk about is the distinction between producing art and producing products. And I want to talk about how you make money making products that have your art on them and wholesaling it to stores. And I want to talk about how people lose money doing that. And I'm going to talk to you about what a keystone markup or keystone pricing is, because I realized when I was helping this artist the other day that a lot of people don't know what that means. All right. So first, I'm going to talk about what do I mean by wholesaling products with your art on it. Well, this is when you get the products made yourself. So as an example, printing your art on beautiful silk or polyester scarves, right? Let's just say a polyester scarf, it's a lower priced item than silk scarf. So you create this beautiful art, you print it on the scarves. You want to sell the scarves to a little boutique store downtown and have them resell it. So let's look at how you can make money off of these products. Now, there are two ways that you actually make a good income and a good profit from printing your art on products and then wholesaling them. Okay, so one way is either by selling in high volume. You're selling thousands of scarves with your art printed on them. Or you have a very high markup. Now, most people, like in the case of scarves, unless you are retailing your scarves for $200, which you could, most scarves out there sell for about $55, $65 If you are doing small volume, let's say 100 or less, then your cost of having that scarf made is going to be about $27. Now we have to do the math working backwards. All right, let's see. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. All right, so let's say you want to sell scarves to a store. How do you price that out? Well, you look at what the store is able to sell at retail. So let's say, just for an easy number, $50. It's going to sell for $50, right? Off the shelf. Somebody's going to walk in the store, see your beautiful art on a scarf, pay $50 for it. What keystone pricing is in the wholesale world, what it means is if it retails for $50, then you have to sell it to the store for half that. So then you have to sell it for $25. which means then your cost of making it, including the scarf, the printing, the sew-in label, and your labor, should be half of that $25. So you should be able to get your cost down to $12.50. Now, that's hard to do when you're doing small volume. Anything really under 500 is a really small volume. The only way to get your costs way down is if you order your scarves from China, right? Or some other country, because you can't get them made in the US for that low of a price. But if you do order it from China, now you have to order high volume. You have to order hundreds of them at a time to get that price down. So I'm going to talk to you about a couple other things. One thing that we've been able to wholesale, we as in my husband Drew and I, we can wholesale canvas art prints to stores because we actually can mark that up significantly. It took us quite a few years, but we've finally been able to get our canvas art print costs down to where we can not just double our price, but we can multiply it by 5 to 10 times and still sell it. So for example, one of the prints that we have made, it costs us $40 to have it made, but I can retail it for $400. And because it's such a high markup, I can afford to wholesale it at a smaller volume. So here's a couple things I want you to think about. If you are thinking about printing your art on products, let's use beach towels as an example, because I recently looked into printing Drew's art on beach towels and wholesaling them. Now, I have not been able to get our cost for beach towels down low enough to where I can sell them to surf shops. I get a lot of surf shops emailing me saying, hey, we saw the beach towels on Drew's website. And by the way, if you want to look them up, it's drewbrophyart.com. And you can look under accessories and then beach towels. And we are selling our beach towels for $35 each. But they cost us, I think it's like $18 each. The only way I can get that price lower is if I order 100 of each design and I get them made in China. Now that's an investment and that's a risk because I don't have enough stores yet to sell that many. Right? So if I was going to have 4 beach towel designs, I'd have to order 100 of each design. So I'd have to buy 400 towels from China. You have to pay it all up front. And if you want to do this, go to Alibaba.com and you can see all kinds of products you can get made for super cheap. But you have to order a lot and you have to put a lot of money out. So that's the challenge. And so I want you to think about if you're an artist and you don't have high volume sales yet, and you're thinking about printing your art on products and selling them to retailers, I want you to think about a couple things. One, is this the type of business model you want to go into? Because selling your art wholesale is a whole different business than selling it direct to the buyer or to the collector. So is that the business you want to go into? Because if you're going to make money, if you're really going to make money at it, you have to sell thousands of units. So I'll give you an example. Let's say go back to the scarf example. If you're going to print your art on scarves And let's say you just have a couple stores that are interested and you can sell 100 scarves, but they cost you $12.50 to make. And then you're going to sell them to the store for $25 and the store is going to sell them for $50. So you're making $12.50 off a scarf, right? And let's say you sell 100 of these. You're only making $1,250. And if you put 60 hours into it, you're only making $20 an hour. It's not sustainable. So what's the answer? The answer is either figure out how to get really high volume, how to sell thousands, or find another product that has a much higher markup. And hey, not everything's going to work. It's like for us with the beach towels, we can't wholesale them. We realize it's not going to work unless we, figure out another way to sell lots of them. So I hope that helped somebody out there. I know I threw a lot of numbers out there and people tend to blank out when I do that. But I hope that this made you think about what business you're in. Are you in the business of making art? Do you want to go into the business of being a manufacturer and wholesaling art? Most artists do not want to be manufacturers because it's just a whole nother business model and it's not really a fun business model. So just something to think about. I hope this helps somebody out there. Leave me a comment. And hey, by the way, check out my podcast on Spotify, Apple Tunes, and a lot of other places. And go to brophyartacademy.com if you want to check out some of my resources for artists in business. Thank you so much. Love you all. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.